Saturday. Happy Saturday. Oh yeah, I'm so happy right now. I just finished a very long, busy day. My busiest days of the week are Saturdays, okay? My busiest day of the week is Saturdays. So I just finished my last class so that I can come and talk to y'all. How are you doing? How's your Saturday going? I got a good topic for y'all today. So first, let me introduce myself really quickly. It's your girl Sharita, the Behavior and Learning Strategist, coming at you from the Morgan Unlimited Growth Institute, where you can find solutions for your child's behavior and learning challenges, okay? All right, so I learned a long time ago when I was a mental health specialist that just helping a kid when they are struggling academically, but if they have behavior and focus challenges, just focusing on the academics, we're only solving half the problem, and it's not going to really provide a solution. And then if we just focus on behavior without equipping them, right, academically, and replacing everything that they lost over the years, or making sure we provide them with what they need to learn now to catch up, then the behaviors don't go away. So what I do is I do both, okay? I have a background as a mental health specialist, and a special education teacher. Now I tutor and coach my students virtually, and also coach parents on improving behavior and learning from home, and also us having a life, loving ourselves, taking care of ourselves, not having mommy burnout, right? It's a beautiful thing. I'm a wife and a mother of two beautiful girls. My husband and I are high school sweethearts. We've been together since 1997 is when we met, okay? Hello, Hannah. Thank you for hanging with me tonight. I appreciate you, okay? And we have a 16-year-old daughter, and then 10 years later, we have had another daughter. So she's 6 years old. So I am a mom just like you, working to also have my children be the best that they can be at home, with their actions, take responsibility for their actions, their choices, focus, and also doing well in school. So let's get into the topic for tonight. It's a good one. All right. So I'm gonna ask you straight up: should we just throw away our kids' devices? Like, should we just gather them all up and toss them out the window? That's what I want to know. Because sometimes I look at this and I'm like, this is ridiculous. The amount of screen time that our kids are engaging in on a daily basis. The way that their focus is pulled from other things that they could be doing, okay? For me, I feel like it's robbing them of their childhood, of their creativity, if they are on the phone all the time. And we as adults know that we can get very addicted to our devices, okay? But tonight, I just want to kind of have all of us customize it a little bit. Tell me what you think about it, okay? To figure out how much screen time should our kids be having. Should they have no screen time, 0, okay? Should it be, yes, they should have screen time, but on the weekends, right? Or should it be every day? So let me know what you think in the comments, okay? So, I want to, first, I know that a lot of moms talk to me about this. Is very common when they come into my program. Their biggest complaint: he's on the phone all the time. He's on the game all the time. All they want to do is their phone. And then when we're going through the consultation, doing this pre-assessment, I ask them about the consequences. The consequences always take the phone, take the iPad. Everything is centered around the phone and the iPad, right? Their devices, okay? So instead of me sitting up here saying how much time I think kids should have on their devices, I'm going to give you a couple of questions to consider so that you can decide what's best for your child, okay? Here's the first question. First, you want to always do an assessment. Like, what's going on right now, straight up. How much screen time does your child get during the week? How much screen time does your child get during the week? So just think for a second and think about what their screen time is. On a daily basis, how much time do they spend on their devices? And then in that, is it hard for you to get your child to complete their chores or do their homework because they are on their devices? You got to pull them away from their devices, right? So that's the first question to ask yourself. Number 2, do you feel comfortable with how much time your child spends on their devices? Do you feel comfortable with it? Now I know, and this is what the kids would say, and parents too. Like, we know that when it comes to school, right? They need their devices. They have Chromebooks that they need in class, right? They could check emails through their phone and through their Chromebooks, through their iPads, right? Some schools provide. My daughter, my husband paid insurance for an iPad for her to use in school. So technology is really interwoven into our society now. I understand that, but you don't have to feel powerless, because I've had situations where my students was acting up. Parents wanted to take away their phone, and they like, but I need it for class. But I needed to see Miss Sharita, because I'm virtual coach, right? So then the parents feel like, or mom feels like, I can't take it away. And what you don't want is to be in a position where you want to give a consequence to your child, and then they feel like you can't do it, right? You don't want to be in that situation, right? So basically, do you feel comfortable with how much time? I'm not talking about the time that they need for learning, for school, right? And I'm not talking about the time they spend learning on their devices or studying. I'm talking about the other stuff. I'm talking about the YouTube. I'm talking about the TikTok, TikTok videos, right? Kids very young are just making YouTube TikTok videos and then putting it out there for the world to see. And let me know what y'all think about this. I've seen some TikTok videos from our young people that were not appropriate, and they're not being reviewed by parents. Our young people and our teenagers, they're not being reviewed by parents. They just do a video, and then they put it out there for the world to see. Do you think that's safe? That's the question I have. Do you think that's safe for our children to be able to, whenever they feel like it, start running a little bit. Whenever they feel like it, just make a video and just put it out there, okay? Let me know how you feel about that. So, do you feel comfortable with how much time and what your child is viewing? It can easily get out of hand, okay? It can easily get out of hand. I'll tell you, our daughter, Maya, was using her iPad, and then I heard some commercial ad come up, right? It was very inappropriate for her age, for any child. So I took that off and talked to my husband, because he's very good with technology and device, all that other stuff. No. My younger brothers and my sister was trying to get me to get on MySpace for the longest. By the time I got on MySpace, it was time for Facebook, and MySpace wasn't a thing anymore. You know what I'm saying? So he is the one, and I was like, look at the games, and make sure there are no games up there that she can chat to, with people, or there's ads. Please make sure all that stuff is off of there, okay? So that was the case where I was very uncomfortable with my daughter using the device, okay? So that's number 2. Number 1 is, how much screen time does your child have during the week? And do you feel comfortable with how much time your child spends on their devices? Number 3 is a good question. What would your child be doing if they didn't spend so much time on their devices? Now, I know if you take the devices away, not as a punishment, But let's say for whatever amount of time or days or whatever you want to do, you took the device and told them that there's no device time. There's no iPads, there's no phones, no nothing. I know your child will probably go through a huge withdrawal and they will be acting like their world is going to end. Okay? That's not just behavior. It's not just, an act to get their way, but it's also like the technology, these cell phones, these iPads and all this stuff is like pretty addictive. Once you start, you know how we do when we watching Netflix, and as soon as we finish, another show pop up. Next thing you know, 2 hours went by and you still watching Netflix when you should have been doing ... So I'm asking you right now to fill in that ... What do you think your child will be doing if they wasn't on their cell phone like all the time? Okay? What would your child be doing? What would they be doing with their time? What would they be thinking about? What will open up for them to experience or create? You know what I mean? What would they be doing? What could they accomplish? And then this leads into the next question. What do you want your child to accomplish? So if they're focusing on their devices all the time, right? If they focus on their devices all the time, when it's time for them to do something, you see them on their phone, you gotta tell them get off the phone or get off the iPad. It's time for them to do their homework, they huffing and puffing, they don't want to let it go, that sort of thing. If this is a big part of your child's life, right? And it's like taking over. And it's like if you even attempt to tell them to turn it off, or it's a big deal. So it's like frustrating for you too. Then think about what you want your child to accomplish that they're not focusing on right now. Okay? What do you want your child to? What does your child want to accomplish? In what areas does your child need to grow? Okay? And then the last one is their current screen time getting in the way of their progress? So if your child is reading below grade level, but they're spending a lot of time on their devices, that's time that they could be spending practicing their reading, right? If your child is struggling with math, or if your child used to love dinosaurs, right? And they used to know all the different kinds of dinosaurs. That was Maya. When she was a year old, she fell in love with dinosaurs, and she could just name all the dinosaurs that I never even heard of. It was like 5 main ones when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, it's a part of your child that is unique to them. They have some unique talent, or they have some unique interest, right? That they will immerse themselves in for hours. And they used to be like this, but now all they want to do is play their game. Okay? Where would they be right now? What areas do they need to work on? What areas of growth are just waiting for your child to put the device down so that they can focus on it? And next thing you know, moved ahead. Okay? So, do you think your child's current screen time is getting in the way of their progress? Do you think that? Okay? Now I'll tell you a little bit about what I did with my daughter, and it's customized. Okay? So you may think something different, want to do something different for your own children, or you may be doing something different for your own children, and that's fine. We're just talking and kind of figuring out what's best. So I know during the week, Maya loved talking to her friends. This was in the summertime. She loved talking to her friends on her iPad. She loved watching her shows. She loved watching YouTube. And that's what she wanted to do, like, all day. Every time I told, nope, I'm going to do this. Nope, I'm going to do that. Nope, I'm going to do this instead. You could do that later, but only after you make your bed. Your bed is not made. You was in there jumping around, spinning around on it. Now your blanket on the floor. Go and fix that first. You know what I mean? Or do some reading. After you do your reading, you can have the game, right? But that's every day, having that conversation. Every day she's focused on the game. So it's like all the things that I want her to do so she can grow, okay? and so that her day is not filled with the iPad, right, or being on the phone, you know what I mean, all day. Everything I was telling her to do was like, that was getting in the way of her iPad time. That was getting away of her iPad time. So she was always like, oh man, oh, can I, all day. So what I did, and this is just me, I put structure around it so that it got moved to the weekend, right? So Friday after school, she can have her iPad time, but it's still, she has to have her room clean, you know what I mean? And then if she has some writing she needs to do, some growth, I call it behavior growth writing, okay? Something that she needs to be aware of and work on, change her mindset. I have her do that first, and then she can have her time. So today she was talking to her friend. They were in preschool together. Now they're in first grade and they're in different schools, but her friend also was one of my students. They were having a good old time, you know what I mean? But it was open because she did what she had to do during the week, and she focused on other things. She's got karate, she's doing reading, she's doing her homework, you know what I mean? She was helping clean up in the house, we baked cookies, you understand? And then tons of other stuff that Maya just comes up with, okay? Playing, creative play, those type of things, and also working on her math. That's something that we started today as well, right? So, and also I have her doing homeschool. It's the Time for Learning homeschool app program. It's very good. Go ahead and look it up. It's time number 4 learning, okay? Because she's in first grade, but she's advanced for first grade. So I'm supplementing her education at home. So she did that and she grew. And she wasn't, after a while, she wasn't asking for the iPad. And yeah, there are times when I'm very busy and it's a lot going on that I just want to just let her watch her iPad or play on her iPad or whatever so that she could be occupied for a little bit. So that's the tough part. But I really had to, on those moments, just redirect myself and stick to and be consistent with the plan of her using it on the weekends, okay? So that's my plan. What will your plan be? Do you feel like your child should not have the devices at all except for learning purposes, right? Do you feel like your child should have it on a daily basis and have it the way they, you know, whenever they want? Do you feel like they need to complete certain tasks first on a daily basis before they can have their iPad time? Do you feel, sorry, the connection acting up a little bit. Do you feel that you should wait until the weekend and then let them do it, okay? What structure do you want? But the biggest thing to ask yourself is your child's, how much time do you feel comfortable with how much time your child's using the iPad? If the answer is no, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. I'm talking to you moms out there to be doubting yourself and looking at, well, generally what kids do and what usually what everybody else does, it doesn't matter. You could do something totally different, and be different from everyone else when it comes to your child. That is your child, okay? So do you feel comfortable as their mom in making a decision about your child's device use? Do you feel comfortable? If you don't feel comfortable, there needs to be a change. Do you feel that your child spends too much time on their devices? Do you feel like it's getting in the way of them progressing, or they should be spending more time doing other things? If you feel like that, something needs to change. If you feel like you want your child to accomplish some things and they're not focusing on it, they're too focused on the iPad or the phone or whatever, something's got to change, okay? All right? And here's the big thing, and this is what I tell my students all the time. I'm like, your parents don't have to let you use the phone. They don't have to let you use the phone whenever you want. Like, that's not a must. You know what I mean? They don't have to let you have iPad playtime. Uh, the important things are you have a roof over your head, you got food in your belly. Like, that's the most important thing. The rest of that, like, that's something that's a privilege, and you need to earn that privilege. So there needs to be an exchange. Your parents pay money for you to have these devices. You need to pay and contribute by contributing to the household, by doing your work, studying, following directions, doing good in school. That's your job. You're not entitled to a phone to use whenever you feel like it. You're not entitled to an iPad. You know what I mean? This is what your parents provided. What are you going to provide? What are you going to contribute? These are your responsibilities, okay? So I'm saying this in case you are doubting yourself, in case you're having a struggle at home about these devices and you feel like you can't really do nothing about it because your child will have a fit, or you're looking at what everybody else is doing. Honey, I never did what everybody else is doing. I've always been, a lot of people don't even understand what I'm doing while I'm doing it until the end, when the change has happened, or whatever I was trying to achieve happened. People don't have to understand what you want to do as a parent, what you're doing as a parent, okay? Follow your intuition, follow your mother's intuition, decide if you feel comfortable, and think about what you want your child to accomplish. Make some changes, because your child is a champion, and they might not even know it yet because they're not even focusing on the parts of them that will grow them into the champion. All right. So I thank y'all so much. Hope you found this helpful. I know what it is to be a mom and be wrestling with these devices. All right. So I hope you found this helpful. If you are looking for a tutor to help your children improve their behavior, focus, and learning, then holla at your girl. Send me a message, or go to growthinstitute.mykajabi.com. That's GROWTH, because that's what we focus on here, Growth Institute, Kajabi.mykajabi.com. Sorry about the connection. I don't know why it's doing that. I think maybe it's because it's raining real hard outside, maybe connection, the storming outside or something like that. But I'm just trying to jump in here and make sure I tell y'all what I'm trying to tell you. I had a beautiful day. I taught my early learning group, which is my youngest group, and we have one student. Isaiah is getting ready to get promoted because I've been assessing his reading and his spelling, and he is knocking my socks off. I'm like, what? He's grown so much since he first came here, okay? I'm very proud of you, Isaiah. You are going to be getting promoted to the beginners elementary group very soon. I also have Soraya, who will be also getting promoted to the advanced elementary group. I got Lexi, who just got promoted to the advanced elementary group. Happy birthday, Lexi. Miss Rita loves you. Okay. And then I gotta say something about my high school students, because they were struggling with coming to class on time. They would come very late, and we've been working on that and talking about it, and they made it to purple level, which is the second to highest level in the group, because they're doing an excellent job in class. They're learning and progressing and understanding what we're doing. They keep working together. And also, they both came on time today and yesterday, and they made it to purple level. So I'm very, very proud of you guys. Great job, Joel and Diana. Keep up the good work. We got other great things going on, other students in the program. So far, this is what I don't remember off the top of my head. But all y'all doing very good. Oh, Ileana, good job with your reading today. You did a magnificent job yesterday. I'm so proud of you. Keep up the good work. Keep going, and you're going to get promoted as well. Okay? All right. And Talia. Okay, y'all. It's a lot of progress that happened this past week. I'm just very proud of everyone. Keep up the good work. I love you. Miss Rita's proud of you. And I will see you next week. All right. Parents, believe in yourself, believe in your child, honey, and always remember that growth is unlimited. Peace.